disgraced technology firm Fujitsu announced this morning it will stop bidding for UK government contracts until the public inquiry into the Post Office scandal concludes. And our star panellist and Daily Telegraph columnist Allison Pearson has uncovered shocking new details about what was really going on at Fujitsu when concerns were raised about its defective Horizon IT system. Here is Allison interviewing an insider who worked at the company in the early to mid-2000s on her brilliant Planet Normal podcast. Take a listen.
Were there ever any grounds for claiming that Horizon was robust?
There's no ground. It was an obsolete setup, and the approaches they were using were well known in the industry at the time as being very flawed.
Do you think there was a conspiracy at Fujitsu?
I do think there's been a conspiracy to suppress the truth on both sides of the equation.
Are there people you worked with who should be in jail?
This is a serious fraud, a serious crime. You have to have that sanction. You just can't get away with it.
Well, Allison Pearson joins me now. Allison, what is the most shocking aspect of what you've heard from the Fujitsu side in relation to this first-hand account?
So this is a whistleblower who contacted me. We haven't given away name or sex, just calling them Robin. Yeah. Was in there working, trying to start the second Horizon because the first one was so flawed, as we heard. Many shocking things, Mark. I didn't realise that Horizon, when it was installed into post offices, had never been designed as an accounting system for so many post offices. They had 6 million transactions a day. It was never fit to deal with that many transactions. GB News viewers will have seen the wonderful drama series, Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. The lovely Jo, postmistress, is shown looking at her screen and seeing the discrepancies just double within seconds. And I said to Robin, the insider from Fujitsu, what's happened? And they said the modem connection can go down. We all remember the dreadful modem buzzing, don't we? And the modem connection goes down. A transaction's gone through just before the modem connection goes down. The connection comes back up. The machine takes another transaction, duplicates it. So if you can imagine that happening across the whole system. So one is that the retention of data was flawed. It was all wrong. And secondly, Fujitsu senior staff on the Horizon project were going into the postmaster's accounts while they were using them and trying to correct errors. And they were my contact said they're making it worse, and the contact described it as like trying to fix the wing of a plane when the plane is in flight. That's how terrible it was. And I said, were any of the convictions safe? No, none of the convictions could have been safe.
Whose actions appear worse at this stage, based upon what you've heard this week? Senior post office management or Fujitsu management?
Well, it's it's a tale of two halves, isn't it? I mean, neither come out looking very good at all. There were very toxic atmosphere at Fujitsu. They're on a tight budget. My source said the post office had champagne tastes on beer money. They did not want to pay, Mark, for mission critical standards. So in a bank or a nuclear facility or air traffic control, you will have very, very high quality safe software. The post office didn't want to pay that level of money for sufficient testing. So when it went into the post offices, it was already riddled with flaws, terrible flaws. So all those poor men and women dealing with basically rubbish system that wasn't designed. And my source said that one Christmas, so busy, the entire system nearly fell down. It nearly collapsed. And the people who came in to fix it disabled one of the functions, which was what retained the data. So that was switched off. So anybody who could have been making Mr. Bates or Joe or any of those Seema, Misra, all those lovely people who could have been working on those systems in good faith, the data retention was turned off. So nobody would know, nobody would be able to point to, had they taken any money, had they given any money? They were putting money in. And the thing that comes out of it, Mark, is that the post office, are guilty of fraud. They accused these people of fraud. They kept money, that money that was duplicating every time the connections went down. They have taken that money. And there are cases against Fujitsu. We heard the Fujitsu's Europe director saying, yes, we were in court and we gave evidence against them using saying these were robust. The system, as my source said on Planet Normal podcast, said it was never robust. It was ropey as hell. So that was used. So we are looking at perjury. We are looking at perverting the course of justice. And perjury is very serious. So people stood up in court and said, this woman has taken money. No way did they take the money. No way was there the data to prove the charge. So can you imagine more than 700 people taken to court, convicted, 230 of them sent into jail, and there was no evidence. So Fujitsu, a conspiracy at the highest level, they knew that there were huge bugs in the system. And my source, my informer, says that for every time they went in to fix the post office accounts, there will be a money trail. Someone senior will have authorised it.
Now, of course, Fujitsu deny these allegations, but it's just possible that management figures from Fujitsu could face criminal charges, and also the company could have to cough up some of that £1 billion compensation bill. At least here's hoping they do.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they've offered an absolutely derisory something.
Do we know what they've offered?
I think they've offered 10 million or something, which is basically
won't touch the sides.
Won't touch the sides. No. I mean, I think we absolutely, as the media, Mark, we have to keep on at them. There need to be arrests and prosecutions, because otherwise they didn't do their due diligence. They did not. Corporate mismanagement, victimisation of people, bullying of people, all on the basis of a faulty system. There is no trail of safe audit.
There you go. Well, listen, you do have a duty, folks, and that is to listen to the Planet Normal podcast, which was just the voice of reason throughout the pandemic. Brilliant. Allison Pearson alongside Liam Halligan. Do check out the latest episode, which features these latest revelations about Fujitsu. Now, I've got a response from Fujitsu. They've said the current Post Office Horizon IT statutory inquiry is examining complex events stretching back over 20 years. The inquiry has reinforced the devastating impact on postmasters' lives and that of their families. And Fujitsu has apologised for its role in their suffering. Fujitsu is fully committed to supporting the inquiry in order to understand what happened and to learn from it. Out of respect for the inquiry process, it would be inappropriate for Fujitsu to comment further at this time.